army maintains control on Ras al-Faras in Sweida, northeastern countryside, and continues to chase terrorists towards Al-Aswad. Russia underlines the need for international law and people's right to self-determination to be respected, affirming that coordination must be present among states in combating terrorism. And the Iraqi army enters Tikrit and continues its operations in Al-Anbar and Diyala provinces to clear them of terrorists. Good afternoon, this is News in English from the Syrian Arab Television in Damascus. We start off with our local news as the Syrian Arab Army and a unit from it has taken control of Ras al-Faras in Sweida northeastern suburbs after eliminating a number of terrorists, destroying their equipment and defusing several explosive devices the terrorists had planted there. The Syrian Army has meanwhile continued to pursue terrorists in Tal al-Asfar, killing and wounding many of them. A number of armed men have also been eliminated in the surroundings of Bir al-Daraj, downtown Daraa, and the areas around Busra al-Sham and Jassim in Daraa countryside. While in Deir ez-Zor to the east of Syria, the Syrian Arab Army has also destroyed a tunnel belonging to Takfiri terrorist gangs in Al-Sinaa and killed a number of gunmen in Sheikh Yassin. The Syrian Arab Army has targeted terrorist gatherings in Al-Duwaybe, Al-Arish, Rajm al-Qasr, Talbise and Sharshuh in Homs countryside, eliminating a number of terrorists. Also in Homs countryside, the Syrian Arab Army has tightened control over vast areas of the governorate's eastern countryside and Hakema Hills, as well as over a number of villages including Jahhar and Jazal, eliminating ISIL terrorists including Moroccan snipers. In international news, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said that combating terrorism should take place on the basis of international law, a thing that should not be ignored by the United Nations Security Council. In a press conference with his Spanish counterpart, José Manuel Garcia, in Moscow, Lavrov said there is earnest need to coordinate measures among states in fighting terrorism and extremism. On the Ukrainian situation, the Russian minister reiterated his country's calls for getting all measures related to the Minsk agreement implemented. Chairman of the Turkish Homeland Party, Perinçek, has said that the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has exported terrorism and armed men to Syria, crushing under his feet the manners of dealing with neighbors. Al-Wisal channel has quoted Perinçek, who recently visited Syria, as saying in a word he delivered during the School of Politics festivity at Bahichan Shahir University in Istanbul, that the countries of the region confronting the armed organizations trained by the United States. He pointed out that the latter is getting ready to send to Syria the armed men who will be trained in Turkey within the framework of the so-called program of training and equipping Syrian opposition. The Lebanese army has thwarted terrorist attempts to attack one of its positions in Arsal in Al-Biqa province. The army has sent reinforcement to its front positions opposite Arsal, prairies and eastern mountains chains where terrorist suspected moves have been monitored. The Lebanese army has meanwhile arrested terrorist Mohammed Hashim Awad in Ma'laboun prairies in Al-Biqa on the charges of belonging to terrorist organizations and taking part in attacks against the Lebanese army, as well as his support for the terrorist groups in Al-Qalamun. In Iraq, Iraqi army entered the streets of Tikrit, the center of Salah Eddin governorate, after encircling it from different axes, as a clear progress is achieved in Al-Qadisiyya neighborhood in the city. Iraqi armed forces liberated 1,400 square kilometers, including 42 villages east of Salah Eddin governorate, from ISIS terrorist group. Meanwhile, Iraqi army started to attack the positions of the terrorist groups in Al-Riyadh district southwest of Kirkuk in Salah Eddin in order to clear the road of PG Kirkuk passing across Al-Hawija district. in Al-Anbar, the Iraqi army inflicted heavy casualties among ISIS terrorists as part of continuing operations to liberate Al-Karma district. In Egypt, a worker was killed and 24 soldiers were injured in a terrorist attack that targeted a security camp in Al-Musa'ad neighborhood in Al-Arish area of Sinai. A security source said that a suicide attacker drove his car into the camp of the Central Security Forces. The source added that the blast destroyed parts of the camp wall, killing a man and injuring the soldiers. Ambulances were seen rushing to the scene of the blast. In Libya, demonstrators burned the Qatari and Turkish flags along with the banner of the terrorist Muslim Brotherhood group during a demonstration in the streets of Tobruk to denounce the support provided by these parties to the terrorists in Libya. The demonstrators called for supporting the Libyan army to fight terrorism and emphasized the importance of dialogue among Libyan components of society, excluding the mainstreams that caused the destruction and havoc in the country. The general commander of the Libyan army, General Khalifa Haftar, reconfirmed that Qatar and Libya continue to support terrorist groups by providing them with money and arms in reference to Qatar and Turkey. And they are exploiting illegal migrants to recruit them to fight against the Libyan army. Haftar said that the ban on arming the Libyan army is a miscalculation committed by the countries that have interest in selling the arms to illegal parties so that they act against the interest of Libya and against the international peace. In occupied Palestinian territories, the Israeli occupation troops arrested 21 Palestinians, including children, during a storming-in operation in several areas of the West Bank and in the villages of Tako, east of Bethlehem. The occupation authorities destroyed shops in Al-Matar Street near the segregation wall in Qalandiya and broke into Al-Azana and Karaza villages. The occupation soldiers has also underwent training in Bab al-Zawiya and Ashala Street, confiscating shops in that area. The occupation troops have meanwhile stormed into Al-Hashimiyya and Barqin villages and opened fire on Palestinian youngsters who belted Israeli occupation forces with stones. With this, we come to the end of our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Now the latest in the world of economy and finance after the break with Nariman.